Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I'm going to be your guys' host for you guys. I am very excited for our episode today. We have a very exciting episode. We're going to be covering the top competitors for the USA women's basketball team in the Olympics, what the PWHL needs to improve upon during their off-season, a preview of the Amundi Evian Championships, a comparison of the 2020 Olympic diving team and the 2024 Olympic diving team, and make sure you guys stay till the end of the show to hear about some NWSL gossip and drama. Before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys to like and follow the show and to become a part of our show, to tip and donate using link gsmcpodcast.net. Thursdays and Fridays show will be different this week as these are pre-recorded, so there are no comments or questions like live, but we will resume all of that on Monday. You can still, of course, leave comments on our channel and such, and of course we will try to respond via there. But we will resume all of the live comments and all of that on Monday, and you guys can still use this link though to tip and donate at literally any time. So now let's get started with today's show. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. So we're starting today's episode by talking about Team USA's basketball's biggest competition in the 2024 Paris Olympics. As we know, the USA basketball team has always been really good, and even though there is a new roster, there's a lot of returning players from previous Olympic Games. I recommend you guys check out some of my other videos on this channel where I talk about who's on the roster this year. The team is one of the most dominant in all Olympic sports with a 70-3 record in Olympic play and a record 7 consecutive titles. They have no Olympic losses since 1992, no losses in any tournament since 2006, and their gold medal in 2021 tied the U.S. men's basketball team record for the most consecutive Olympic team victories in all of Olympic sports. So going into this year's Olympics, I have a lot of confidence that the U.S. can secure that gold medal once again, especially with their super stacked team. Still, I wanted to point out some of the U.S. biggest competitors and their biggest competition this year, so you guys are aware of what games you should definitely watch. So starting with France, as the host nation, France is expected to be a pretty good opponent. They have that advantage of being on home soil, which is more of a benefit than people think. The French team is known for its tenacious defense, versatile players, and having excellent team chemistry. In the 2012 Olympics, France had a strong run, reaching the finals before losing to the U.S., but they secured the silver medal. In the 2020 Olympics, France finished third, securing the bronze medal. Their star players include center Céline Boutier, who is known for her scoring ability, rebounding, and defensive prowess. She has been on the Olympic team before, so she brings that expertise, leadership, and experience. Marine Johannes is a point guard on the team, and she's been compared to Steph Curry before for her playmaking, scoring, and shooting from beyond the arc. Forward Indy Mayam is strong with excellent scoring and rebounding ability. She provides stability and experience on the court as well. And the other star I wanted to mention is point guard Olivia Pupa, known for her exceptional defensive skills, speed, and playmaking ability. She sets the pace for the team for sure and disrupts opponents' offenses. Given their strength and depth in this roster, France is expected to possibly medal or end up in the top 5. The other big competitor for the U.S. will be Australia. The Australian team is known for its physical style of play and athleticism, often using their size and strength to dominate the paint and control the boards. Australia consistently reached the finals in the early 2000s, where they won the silver medal in the 2000, 2004, and 2008 games. They won the bronze medal at the 1996 and 2012 games. Their star players are center Liz Cambridge, known for her scoring ability, shot blocking, and rebounding, guard Sammy Whitcomb, who is a sharp shooter with excellent three-point shooting ability, and point guard Leilani Mitchell, who is a seasoned floor general known for her playmaking, shooting, and leadership on the court. Lastly, I need to mention forward and center Izzy McBuiger is competing for the Australian team. She currently plays for the WNBA Seattle Storm team, and in this season, she is averaging 13.4 points, 8.8 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 1.6 steals. She is definitely their number one star, in my opinion. She's got amazing natural athleticism and amazing defensive skills. As a team, given their strength and star players, I definitely think Australia could medal this year, or at least be a top contender in medaling. Moving on to Canada, They play with high intensity, disrupt passing lanes, and are effective in man-to-man and zone defenses. Canada boasts a versatile roster with players capable of playing multiple positions. This flexibility allows them to adapt to different styles of play and strategies. The team also has several proficient three-point shooters, and as we have seen in the WNBA, especially this year, three-pointers can literally change a game around so quick. Canada has consistently reached the quarterfinals in recent Olympic Games, and they won gold medals at the 1995, 2015, and 2017 FIBA Mary Cup. Their star players are forward and center Natalie Achanwa, who brings experience, rebounding, and interior scoring to the team, forward Bridget Carleton, and guard Kia Nurse. So Carleton and Kia Nurse both play on WNBA teams. Carleton plays for the Minnesota Lynx, and Nurse plays for the Los Angeles Sparks. Carleton has averaged 8 points, 3.7 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and 1 steal this season. I would say that she doesn't particularly stand out in the WNBA, but when she's playing for Canada's national team, she stands out for sure. Kia Nurse is averaging 9 points, 1 rebound, 1.5 assists, and 0.5 steals in the season so far. She is definitely more dominant on offense rather than defense, and she does get good playing minutes on Canada's team. Considering these two play for the WNBA, they are very familiar with the strengths and weaknesses of certain players on the USA national team. It will be fun watching them go head-to-head. For predictions, though, I think that Canada will not be able to medal, but I definitely think they will make it to the quarterfinals and finish in the top 10. Spain has a strong basketball tradition and a well-rounded team. They are known for its discipline and well-organized play. They execute set plays effectively and are excellent in both half-court and transition offenses. The team has several sharpshooters who can score from long range, making them a constant threat from beyond the arc. They won the silver medal at the 2016 Olympics, which was their only recent Olympic Games big achievement. But at the FIBA Women's World Cup, they won the silver medal in 2014 and the bronze medal in 2010 and 2018. Their key players are forward Alba Torrens, guard Laia Palu, and guard Cristina Alvinia. Torrens is known for her scoring ability, versatility, and leadership on the court. She can play multiple positions and is effective both inside and outside the paint. Palu is a veteran playmaker known for her court vision, passing, and leadership. She's one of the most experienced players on the Spanish team. Alvinia is known for her quickness, defensive prowess, and playmaking abilities, especially when driving to the basket. I have a lot of confidence that the Spanish team can finish in the top 5 this year. They have rising stars and emerging talents, which could make them shine a lot more than recent Olympic performances. Moving on to Belgium, this team is definitely a strong contender, and they have emerged as a strong contender in recent years. The Belgian team is known for their smart play and excellent understanding of the game. They make strategic decisions on the court, often outsmarting their opponents with their plays. Belgium also boasts several players who are highly accurate shooters, making them a constant threat from long range. In their Olympic debut in 2020, Belgium reached the quarterfinals, and they have improved as a team since then and gotten new players. So I really think they have a chance of making it to the quarterfinals once again this year. The star players of the team are forward and center Emma Messiman, guard Julia Alaman, and guard and forward Kim Mestog. Messiman and Alaman both have played for the WNBA. Messiman used to play for the Chicago Sky, and in the league she averaged 11.5 points, 5.3 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.1 steals. Alaman played for the Los Angeles Sparks, where she averaged 5.6 points, 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 0.8 steals. Lastly, Germany is another big competitor for the USA basketball team. The German team is known for their high level of technical skills, including precise shooting, efficient ball handling, and solid fundamentals. While Germany's women's team has not secured an Olympic medal, their participation and competitive play in past tournaments have contributed to their growing reputation, and I think they have improved tremendously these past few years, so I think they have a chance of making it to the top 10. Their key players are Setu Sabali, who plays for the WNBA, which I will talk more about her later. Center Marlee Golich, who is a dominant presence in the post, known for rebounding, shot blocking, and scoring efficiency around the rim. And forward and guard Alina Hartman, a versatile player that excels in shooting, defense, and playmaking. Her ability to contribute to multiple facets of the game makes her invaluable, really. And let me just talk quickly about Setu Sabali, a little bit more. She plays for the Dallas Wings right now, and Especially this season, she has been a leading scorer. She has averaged 18.6 points, 8.1 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and 1.8 steals this season. I think she's going to be a superstar and powerful player for Germany in the Olympics, and it will be interesting to see her go against some of the players from the U.S. So these teams, among others, will ensure that the competition is intense and challenging for Team USA as they aim for their 8th consecutive gold medal. We are now going to move into our next segment where we talk about what the Professional Women's Hockey League needs to improve upon for next season. Before we get started, we are going to take a short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. Some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the top competitors for the USA basketball team in the Olympics, and now we're going to talk about the Professional Women's Hockey League, or PWHL. So the PWHL was pretty successful last year. They put together a season, broadcasting, rosters, venues, and built a fan base in weeks and months, not years. It was an impressive feat for the startup league that continued to showcase the immense market for women's professional sport in North America. But as always, the work continues, and there are some things the league needs to improve upon and do. They continue to face timelines that many corporations would see as unrealistic, and along the way, it's meant the league has needed to cut some corners and had their share of missteps. The good news is most of those missteps have been behind the scenes with little to no impact on fans, at least not at first glance. The league is still sprinting to meet deadlines, and there's a lot to be done over next season and beyond. So in this segment, we are going to discuss some of the few most pressing issues the PWHL will need to find ways to address soon. So let's start with the team names and logos. Right now, the PWHL has 6 names trademarked: Boston Wicked, Montreal Echo, Toronto Torch, Ottawa Alert, Minnesota Superior, and New York Sound. Even after months of sitting with these names, fans are still split. Some still hate them, while others have mellowed out a bit. But here's the deal, there still aren't any official team names, and fans are really itching for them. Not having team names isn't just about branding, it's a huge financial miss. The first year saw solid sales of generic merch, but branded team gear could seriously skyrocket those numbers. Fans want to show off their team pride with jerseys, hats, and all of that, but by not having officials' names, the PWHL is potentially leaving a ton of money on the table. There are now hundreds of mock logos and names floating around that the league could tap into, just like the NHL's Seattle Kraken did. The Kraken nailed it by involving fans in the process, which built up a lot of excitement and led to big merchandise sales. The PWHL could definitely do the same by getting fan input and making them feel involved. If the league heads into another season without official team names, it's likely to get even more flack from fans like myself. Team names aren't just labels, they're the start of team identity and traditions. Without them, the league misses out on building a strong fan connection and long-term loyalty. Getting these names sorted out is about more than just cash, really. It's a key step in the league's growth and stability. Team names create a sense of history and identity, which is crucial for building a dedicated fan base. They also make marketing and community outreach way easier, helping to solidify the PWHL spot in the sports world. On top of that, official team names can boost media coverage and attract more sponsorships. Brands are way more likely to partner with teams that have strong, recognizable identities. This means bigger sponsorship deals and more venues for the league. Team names can also ramp up fan engagement on social media and other platforms. With official names and logos, the league and team can create more targeted content, driving higher engagement and reaching more people. So in short here, the PWHL's delay in announcing team names is a missed chance and opportunity that affects fan engagement, potential revenue, and the league's overall growth. By locking in and embracing team names, the PWHL can boost merch sales, strengthen its brand, and build a deeper connection with fans. This isn't just really an admin task, it's essential for the league's future success. The PWHL needs to get this sorted to avoid more criticism and fully tap into its potential as a top women's hockey league. Now let's talk about player compensation. This is a big one too. But to be fair to the PWHL, they've locked down a pretty investor-friendly deal that keeps labor costs low and under control for a surprising 8 years. There's a reason you usually don't see collective bargaining agreements or CBAs before a league even starts. Mainly it's because you need a group of players to have a unified voice, and that doesn't exist until the league is actually up and running. Here's the kicker. Only 36.7% of the players who played this season came from the PWHPA last year, so the CBA was basically decided by about a third of the league. What's even wilder is that 40 former players who never even played a game in the league and some who never planned to had a say in shaping the future of the sport. Meanwhile, most of the current players who are the ones actually competing didn't get a vote at all. The result, a small group of well-paid players, while many others are just scraping by and might leave the league for better opportunities financially. So the PWHL, PA, and PWHPA now have to figure out how to fix this mess. The league has made it clear they won't reopen the financial terms of the CBA, which are set until 2031, but maybe there's some room for compromise on revenue-related aspects. On a positive note, they did offer more guaranteed contracts this offseason and set minimum salaries for players picked in the first 3 rounds of the draft. These were definitely steps in the right direction. However, the fact that the CBA doesn't include a revenue share for athletes or a cut of the broadcasting rights is a huge miss to players. Anyway, ultimately, to sum it up here, while the PWHL has secured a financially stable future with this labor deal, it's left a lot of players in a tough spot. The league needs to find ways to address these issues and ensure that all players have a fair shot at making a decent living. Balancing investor interest with player welfare is crucial for the long-term success of the league and the growth of women's hockey. And you can't have a league if you don't have players. So they really need to figure this out. So the third thing I wanted to address was the home venues. The PWHL plans to ramp up its neutral site games next season, building on the success they saw this year. These games were a fantastic way to sell tickets, boost merchandise sales, and attract both national and regional media attention. The league has said they're going to keep this strategy going strong with even more neutral site games next year. However, the PWHL has also realized they missed some big opportunities with their current venues. Imagine telling the league before the season started that they sell out every game in Toronto weeks in advance. They would have been ecstatic. While they're undoubtedly thrilled about the sellouts, they must now recognize the extra revenue they could have raked in with better suited venues for some teams, if that makes sense. In Toronto, for instance, the Coca-Cola Coliseum seems like a logical future home. The team moved there for the playoffs and kept selling out, proving the venue's potential. New York had more success in New Jersey, which highlights the need for better venue choices. The league wisely pulled out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, after it proved to be a disaster. But to really tap into one of the biggest markets in the world, the league needs to find a way to actually play in New York City. That's where the big thing is. Their only visit to Manhattan was for skating outdoors and announcing their captain, but they didn't play any games in Manhattan or Brooklyn. Lowell drew better than expected crowds for Boston, but the league must see they lost out on fans by not being in the city itself. Montreal's time at the Verdun Auditorium is likely over as a primary venue, giving the huge crowds they pulled at Place Bell and Bell Center. More consistent and appropriate venues where the league can establish strong branding are a must for the future. In summary, while the PWHL's neutral site games have been a hit, there's still plenty of room for improvement. This is something that, like, it's always going to be needing room for improvement. Literally all of these things, except for team logos and names, like, I feel like you just need to get that done. Player pay and compensation can always be improved upon, and same with venues. So yeah, this is definitely something they need to improve upon if they want to make money here. The league needs to find venues that not only accommodate large crowds, but also enhance the overall fan experience. By doing so, they can maximize revenue, build a stronger brand presence, and ensure a more engaging and accessible experience for all fans. And here's something that I didn't actually really take into consideration about venues themselves, especially with sports that aren't as popular. Like, okay, for instance, this is like the most random example, but Joshua Bassett had a concert sometime this month. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I just saw that his ticket sales were like 20% of the venue. But the venue he was at was like for someone who's a bigger name. Like, that was like setting him up for failure, putting him in a venue that was so large. Like, that's the thing, is like the league will want to start out in a smaller venue and then move to bigger venues, but that's not possible when it comes to sports. Because it's like you stick with the venue after a while. Like, does that make sense? I don't know if that's making any sense, but it's just like a lot of planning and strategy that I never really considered with venues. I guess maybe I'm just not that adept at understanding how venue planning works and all of that. But so it's not just, I don't know. There's like a lot to this. I don't know. My whole point with the ticket sales and stuff is you don't want to have like a game seem like it's a complete sellout all the time, because then it's like, okay, we need more people at the stadium, we need a bigger stadium. But then at the same time, you don't want it to be too large in the beginning where you're like, okay, well, no one's coming to our games, like no one's going to want to, because people are more attracted to going something if they see that it's been a sellout, if that makes sense. I don't know, there's just like a lot of complicated factors that go into it. So yeah, there's a lot to that. But we're now going to move into the next segment where we preview the Amundi Evian Championships that will take place next weekend. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys all very soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. So we just got done talking about what the PWHL needs to improve upon for next season. And now we're going to talk about golf as we preview the Amundi Evian Championships. So this competition will take place from July 11th to the 14th. The event will take place at the Evian Resort Golf Club in France with a $6.5 million purse. This event is taking place next weekend, and I am particularly really excited to watch this one. For the first time in her career, Céline Boutier will start a major as the defending champion. Let me pull up the picture here. This prestigious and flattering title is far from comfortable given the stakes it represents. At Evian and elsewhere, being labeled a favorite even before teeing off at the first hole adds a special flavor to the first round. This is the challenge that the greatest champions of women's golf have faced, and Céline Boutier is among them. Before representing France at the Paris 2024 Olympics, she is ready to fight for the blue, white, red flag in front of her home crowd. The Amundi Evian Championship is the first act of Boutier's mission on home soil. With adrenaline at its peak, the task won't be easy, but nothing really seems to scare the world's 6th-ranked player anymore. So going back to how she won this, so on July 30th, 2023, it was clear that nothing could stop her. With a final scorecard of 68, she wrote the most beautiful line of her record by winning the flagship major for French female golfers by 6 strokes. This victory, her second of the 2023 season, crystallized all the discipline and rigor that have always characterized her. A success that would become the crowning achievement of the best year of her career, marked by 8 top 10 finishes, including 4 trophies on the LPGA Tour. She won the Women's Scottish Open the following week, triumphed at the Maybank Championship at the end in October, and finished her 2023 year ranked 3rd in the world behind Lilia Vu and Ruonan Yin. At the recent KPMG Women's PGA Championship, Boutier showed a better profile. The Sahali Country Club hosted the 3rd leg of the Women's Golf Grand Slam with 4 solid rounds of 70, 73, 75, and 72, totaling 2 strokes over par. Boutier climbed to the 19th spot on the leaderboard. Her 5th top 20 finish of 2024 puts her back on track. Now it's time for Céline Boutier to tackle the ultimate challenge of a top-level athlete staying at the top. The most decorated athletes in sports history all say the hardest part is not getting there, but staying there. And even Abby Lee Miller said that to Maddie Ziegler, if anyone is a Dance Mom fan in here. So when facing such a battle, one must gather all their strength and fully commit. This is precisely when the support of the French public comes into play. Many fans will have eyes only for her. Boutier is aware of this and draws on this popular enthusiasm to perform. Last year, she was Evian's new star. Now it remains to be seen if she will shine as brightly this season. The French dream of it, and she likely does too, but regardless of her 2024 result, her presence of this constellation already deserves to be celebrated. While you should watch the reigning champion, there are some other people that I wanted to draw y'all's attention to. First, as always, we have to talk about Nelly Korda. Despite missing 3 consecutive cuts in her last 3 outings, the 25-year-old American remains the standout player 2024. With 6 victories in 11 tournaments, she has simply outclassed all her competitors. She even rattled Hannah Green on the 72nd hole during the previous Mizuho Americas Open in a thrilling mano a mano. If Nelly Korda were to win and I can't pronounce this word and I sincerely apologize, but I'm sure people know what I'm talking about, a Haute Savier, it's like a French word, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, she would win. She would become the first player in LPGA Tour history to win 7 tournaments in a single season. Even NB Park in 2013 only won 6, and I say only she only won 6, which shows the monumental figure Korda is becoming. It's only fitting to place the world number 1 among the favorites, but it would be even crazier to see her win. Here's something that does concern me about her. Her latest setback is a withdrawal from the Ladies European Tour event due to a dog bite incident. Korda was bitten by an unfamiliar dog outside a coffee shop in Seattle, leading her to consult fellow golfer Allison Lee, who had experienced a similar injury. The severity of Korda's injury remains unclear, but it caused her to pull out of the Aramco Team Series in London. The golf community, including myself, is now anxiously waiting updates on Korda's health, and I will be sure to update y'all on all of that as soon as news come out if she's competing or not. But I do think she is competing. It's just like a very random injury, and it's like, oh, okay, like you didn't injure yourself during the sport or practicing or training or whatever. You injured yourself at a dog bite. It's just like, that is very unlucky. So moving on, I also recommend you guys keep your eye on Brooke Henderson. In 8 appearances at the major, Brooke Henderson has only finished outside the top 25 once in 2017 when she placed 57th. Otherwise, she has 4 top 10 finishes, including a resounding victory in 2022 and a 2nd place last year, proving her comfort at Evian. With 13 LPGA Tour victories, the Canadian has been one of the circuit's most consistent players since turning pro in 2014. Over the past 11 years, she has placed in the top 10 of a major 16 times, with only 2019 lacking this privilege. This consistency at the highest level naturally places her among the serious contenders for the Savoyard Trophy. A ninth duel between Brooke Henderson and the Champions Chorus promises to be thrilling. It remains to be seen who will emerge victorious here. As always, I need to mention Yuka Saso. At just 19 years old, she won her first U.S. Open in 2021 before joining the LPGA Tour the following season. An authentic prodigy, Yuka Saso is one of those players who elevate the game when performing at her best. Her high-risk game sometimes propels her to the top of the leaderboard, but can also penalize her from one day to the next. Her 2 appearances at Evian are perfect illustrations of this. She missed the cut in 2022 with rounds of 71 and 73, then started her 2023 edition with 67 and 69, finishing the week in 3rd place. So yeah. Anyway, her recent major performances do follow this pattern. She claimed her second U.S. Women's Open in late May before finishing 68th at the KPMG Women's PGA Championships 2-3 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. One thing for sure, Yuka Saso's game is always a spectacle filled with the passion she's known for. It'll be interesting to see if she can break this pattern and, make it to the top. Lastly, let me draw your attention to Jin-Young Ko. The South Korean has been undeniably one of the stalwarts of the LPGA Tour since her arrival in 2018, highlighted by her exceptional 2019 season, 8 podiums, 4 victories, including 2 majors. The challenge is immense, winning another major as she hasn't tasted such victories since the Amundi Evian Championships in 2019. It's not for lack of trying. Over the past 5 years, she has finished 8 majors in the top 10, including the recent KPMG Women's PGA Championships. She arrives at Evian ready, brimming with confidence, aiming to firmly establish herself as the mistress of the court by claiming the Savoyard Trophy for the 2nd time. Before we end this segment, let's quickly talk about Lexi Thompson. Notably, 11-time LPGA Tour winner Lexi Thompson's participation is in doubt. Despite announcing her retirement after the 2024 season, Thompson, who hasn't played in the Evian Championship since 2020, is absent from the field list, raising questions about her qualification or personal decisions. Thompson's uncertain participation is surprising given her high ranking and multiple wins, though she hasn't won the Evian Championship. This year's event might have been her final appearance at the Evian Resort Club, but her retirement plans remains unclear still, offering a glimmer of hope for fans like myself. Similarly, Ruonan In, the world number 4 and recent Dow Championship winner, is also missing from the field. Yen, who had a modest finish at the 2023 Evian Championship, might still come into the event with 10 days remaining before it starts on July 11th. Wait, no, not 10 days anymore. 7 days. I'm sorry. I'm pre-recording this. No, not 7. No. 6, because this is getting pre-recorded. This is going out Friday, so 6 days. Yes, I believe so. Okay, anyway, fans are hopeful that both Thompson and Yin will join other top golfers like Nelly Korda and Lydia Ko at the major championship, and I do too. So we're now going to move into our next segment where we compare the 2020 Olympic diving team to the 2024 Olympic diving team. Before we dive into that, no pun intended, we're going to take a short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about or previewing the Amundi Evian Championship, and now we're going to talk about the Olympic diving team. So yesterday we compared the 2020 gymnastics team to the 2024 gymnastics team, and this year this episode, we're going to be doing the exact same thing, but with the USA diving team. I do recommend you guys check out that gymnastics video though. So before we begin, I did want to remind you guys to like and follow the show, and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. We would really appreciate your support, and even though there are no live comments on this episode because it is pre-recorded, we still recommend you use this link to show your support. Your help is greatly appreciated. I also wanted to remind you guys to stay till the end of the show to hear about some NWSL updates. And it's pretty juicy gossip, so it's a good idea to stay to hear about that. Now that we got that out of the way, it's time to get started comparing these two teams. So the 2020 team in the women's 3-meter springboard consisted of Haley Hernandez and Krista Palmer. For the 10-meter springboard, we had Katrina Young and Delaney Schnell. For the 2024 team in the 3-meter springboard, we have Allison Gibson and Sarah Bacon. And then for the 10-meter springboard, we have Dara Wright and Delaney Snell again. So starting with Allison Gibson, she competed in the 2020... She first started competing in 2016 at the trials, but she placed 6th, which means she didn't qualify for the games. She moved up a spot to 5th in the event at the 2020 trials. This is sort of her redemption year since she had 2 chances to make the team and was unable to do so. So this year no, it's not her redemption year. What am I saying? No. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Yes, so this is sort of her redemption year. Yeah. Wait, is she on the team? Yeah. Didn't I just say she's on the team? Yeah, she's on the team. Okay, why am I now second guessing myself? I literally thought for a second that she wasn't on the team, and I was like, wait a minute, this is crazy. No, I'm losing my mind, guys. I'm so sorry. Anyway, what I'm saying here is that this is sort of her redemption year because she had 2 chances to make the team and she was unable to do so. So this year she finished 2nd at the trials, securing her spot on the team. Clearly, she has improved tremendously these past couple of years. Gibson's journey to the 2024 Olympics is marked by her relentless improvement and determination. Having narrowly missed qualifying in 2016 and 2020, her qualification this year signifies her enhanced skills and mental toughness. This persistence showcases a strong work ethic and resilience crucial for high-stakes competition, and I really admire that because if I were not able to make the games twice, I would probably give up and not do it a 3rd time. That's just me though. Gibson's technical proficiency has developed significantly is the right word I want to use. Significantly. Wow, I'm losing my mind. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway, so Gibson's refined techniques and execution during the trials indicated that she has worked diligently on perfecting her dives, which will be pivotal in securing high scores at the Olympics. Sarah Bacon is actually known more for her success in the synchronized 3-meter springboard with her partner Cassidy Cook. She will be competing in the Olympics with Cook in the synchronized diving event, but we're focused on the individual events today, and she still is competing in the individual 3-meter springboard. This year, she was first at the trials in the individual 3-meter springboard. She has overcome numerous injuries that have threatened to derail her career, including stress factors in her backs, shoulder injuries, and concussions. Haley Hernandez qualified for the 2020 Olympics in the women's 3-meter springboard, placing 2nd behind Krista Palmer. Her dives had the lowest degree of difficulty among the Olympic contenders, although she made up for it by being the most consistent performing diver at the meet. She ended up placing 9th at the games. The 2024 team is missing her consistency this year for sure. Hernandez's early success suggested that she had significant room for development. Her trajectory indicated that she could potentially increase the difficulty of her dives while maintaining her high execution standards, making her, an even stronger competitor. Hernandez's reliable performance was a cornerstone for the team's stability. Without her, there may be a higher potential for variability in the team's overall performance, particularly in this 3-meter springboard event, which can be a good and a bad thing. Krista Palmer competed in the synchro and individual event at the 2020 Olympics. She competed in the synchro event with Allison Gibson. Specifically for the individual springboard, Palmer won bronze in this event at the Olympic Games. The question is, can Gibson and Bacon medal just like Palmer did? Both divers are expected to reach the finals in the 3-meter springboard. Gibson's significant improvement and Bacon's proven track record make them strong contenders. Bacon, given her first place finish at the trials and overcoming injuries, has a higher potential to medal, I'll say, in my opinion. If they can perform their dives with precision and consistency, matching or exceeding Palmer's bronze medal is definitely within reach. Now moving on to the 10-meter springboard, Darren Wright was 2nd at the trials. She is a 4-time Junior Pan American Championships team member, the 2021 Winter National Champion on 10-meter, and placed 24th at the World Championships. Darren Wright's impressive record at the Junior Pan American Championships and national competitions shows her potential and readiness to compete at the senior level. Her achievements indicate that she has the foundational skills and competitive experience to perform well at the Olympics. At 18 years old, Wright brings youthful enthusiasm and a fresh perspective to the team. Her energy and eagerness to prove herself can be a significant asset, potentially leading to stand-up performances. Delaney Snell placed second in the synchronized 10-meter platform, winning the silver medal with her partner Jessica Parado at the 2020 Olympics. This was the first Olympic medal won for the U.S. in this specific event. Individually, Snell placed fifth in the final of the 10-meter platform. This year, she is still competing in the synchro event with Parado, and she finished first in the individual 10-meter at the trials. She is expected to medal in both events, but specifically, I think she will medal in the individual event. Shell's leadership on the team, given her past experience and success, will be invaluable. She can mentor the younger divers and help them navigate the pressures of Olympic competition. Last Olympics, we also had Katrina Young competing. She made the final in platform diving at the 2012 trials, but did not qualify to compete in the games. At the 2016 Olympics, Young finished 13th in the semifinals, but did not advance to the finals. For the 2020 Olympics, in the preliminary round of competition in the 10-meter platform, Young placed 17th with a score of 286.65 and advanced to the semifinal. She scored a total of 263.60 points in the semifinal, finished in 17th place, and did not qualify for the finals, unfortunately. Without Katrina Young, the 2024 U.S. Olympic diving team is missing several key elements that she brought to the team. Katrina Young's experience in multiple Olympic cycles 2016 and 2020 provided a wealth of knowledge about the unique pressures and demands of Olympic competition. As a veteran diver, Young's presence would have offered valuable mentorship to younger and less experienced team members. Her guidance could help them handle the mental and emotional challenges of competing on the world's biggest stage. While Delaney Snell can provide some level of leadership given her previous Olympic experience and success, the team will still feel the loss of Young's veteran presence and the steadiness she brought to the team's dynamics. So the departure of Krista Palmer and Katrina Young, both season Olympians, means the team lacks the extensive Olympic experience that can be crucial for navigating the unique pressures of the games. While Snell does bring experience, this overall depth in season Olympians is reduced. Krista Palmer's bronze medal in the 2020 Olympics provided a psychological edge and proven track record of success. The current team will need to establish new medalists, which adds pressure on Gibson, Bacon, and Wright to fill this gap for sure. The 2024 team, though, with a mix of seasoned competitors and emerging talents, brings significant strengths in resilience, technical proficiency, and youthful energy. While they lack the extensive Olympic experience and proven medalist of the 2020 team, their potential for high performance remains strong. I do have a lot of confidence in them. The key will be their ability to perform under pressure and leverage their unique strengths to achieve success. If Gibson and Bacon can deliver consistent high-scoring dives and Snell maintains her top form, the team could surpass the 2020 performance, potentially securing multiple medals across both individual and synchronized events. So we're now going to move into our next segment where we talk about two things regarding the NWSL, investment news regarding the Angel City FC, and ex-USWNT coach Jill Ellis being accused of fostering an abusive environment at the San Diego Wave Soccer Club. Before we get into that, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done comparing the 2020 Olympic diving team to the 2024 Olympic diving team, and now we're going to switch gears to the NWSL. In this segment, I'm going to update y'all on a few things in the NWSL. We're going to talk about 1, investment news regarding the Angel City FC, and 2, ex-USWT's coach Jill Ellis accused of fostering an abusive environment at the San Diego Wave. So let's begin with the happier news here, the investment news regarding the Angel City FC. Okay, so Bob Iger, one of the most influential figures in the media industry, and his wife, Willow Bay, dean of USC's journalism school, are reportedly close to finalizing a significant investment in a professional women's sports franchise. This move is set to see them becoming the largest shareholders of Angel City FC, succeeding Reddit co-founder Alex Ohanian. The investment from Iger and Bay is expected to be around $50 million, which would elevate Angel City's FC valuation to a record-setting $300 million. That's insane. That's a lot of money. This significant increase in the franchise value, as first reported by Semaphore, marks a historic moment for the NWSL and women's sports in general. Angel City FC, which plays in home games at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, has been a part of the 14-team NWSL since its inaugural season in 2022. The franchise awarded to Los Angeles in 2020 has been led by majority female ownership groups, including actress Natalie Portman, venture capitalist Cara Nortman, entrepreneur Julie Erdman, and Alexis Ohanian. Ohanian has played a significant role as the franchise's representative on the NWSL's Board of Governors. Last year, Ohanian raised concerns about the team's finances, prompting the franchise's board to hire New York investment bank Moelis & Company for financial advisement. This move underscores the importance of robust financial management and strategic planning in ensuring the long-term success and stability of the team, and fairly new team. The previous record valuation for an NWSL franchise was set by the San Diego Wave in March when the team was sold for $120 million. Angel City FC's potential $300 million, which is more than double, valuation not only surpasses this figure, but also signifies the growing market and investment potential in women's professional sports. The franchise reportedly turned down an offer from Arvin Glazer, part owner of the Premier League's Manchester United and the NFL's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who sought a controlling stake in the team. This decision highlights the current ownership commitment to maintaining control and continuing their vision for the franchise. Iger and Bay's investment is expected to bring substantial media attention and business acumen to Angel City FC. Given Iger's extensive experience as the CEO of Disney, his involvement could open new avenues for marketing, sponsorships, and global branding opportunities for the team. This move aligns with a broader trend of increasing investment and interest in women's sports, reflecting their rising prominence and potential for growth. Angel City FC has already made a significant impact both on and off the field. The team's strong community engagement, inclusive culture, and commitment to social causes have resonated with fans and sponsors alike. With Iger and Bay's backing, the franchise is poised to enhance its community outreach programs, further solidifying its place as a leading figure in women's sports. In conclusion, the anticipated investment by Bob Iger and Willow Bay in Angel City FC represents a pivotal moment for the franchise and women's sports as a whole. This move promises to bring financial stability, strategic leadership, and increased visibility to the team, paving the way for a prosperous future. Now let's talk about ex-USWT coach Jill Ellis. So Jill Ellis was accused of fostering, quote, abusive environment with NWSL San Diego Wave. Former San Diego Wave employee Brittany Alvarado accused team president Jill Ellis of fostering an environment, quote, devastating to workers' mental health. Alvarado, who was the club's video and creative manager, released a statement on Wednesday via X or Twitter, where she made allegations against the organization and the former two-time World Cup champion USWT coach. Alvarado wrote, quote, despite its public proclamations, the organization often perpetuated discrimination against women and demonstrated a complete disregard for their long-term mental health. Despite my unwavering dedication to my job in the sport of women's soccer, I found myself trapped in an environment where my mental health was relentlessly compromised. It became agonizingly clear that to protect my well-being, I had no choice but to walk away from my dream job with Wave FC. On behalf of myself and my former colleagues, the treatment we endured under club president Jill Ellis has been nothing short of life-altering and devastating to our mental health." Unquote. Alvarado, who began working for the club in March 2023, alleged that nearly 75% of the 30-plus employees who were fired or quit since the inaugural season in 2022 were women. She also claimed that Ellis has, quote, "no place in this game." Alvarado wrote, quote, "She prioritized personal gain over employee well-being, fostering an environment that enables abusive behavior," unquote. The Wave quickly denied the allegations with a statement on their social media accounts defending the former USWT head coach. The Wave specifically wrote, quote, "San Diego SC has been made aware of a recent social media post by a former employee that contains inaccurate and defamatory statements about the club. Not only does the post contain a fabricated email, but the claims made therein are categorically false, including the ones directed at our president, Jill Ellis," unquote. The club added that they are, quote, "currently reviewing the situation and intend on pursuing all legal avenues available to appropriately address this matter," unquote. Two former Wave employees also came forward on X to support Alvarado's claims of an unhealthy work environment. Bernadette O'Donnell, the team's former senior communications director, alleged that she was fired shortly after talking to her boss that she had, quote, "no hope for my life and didn't want to be alive most of the times because of the, quote, unhealthy work environment." These are not the first accusations made against Ellis. In 2020, former USWT player Sydney Leroux, who currently plays for Angel City FC, told the Crack podcast that she, quote, "liked Ellis as a person, but not as a coach." Leroux said, quote, "We won in spite of Ellis. She's not good for people's mental health, that's for sure. The best thing was for her to go," unquote. Ellis was also mentioned multiple times in the 2022 Yates report over allegations into abusive behaviors in the NWSL and professional women's soccer. Ellis and Sunny Galati, the former U.S. soccer president, were told by USWT about abusive behavior from NWSL coaches, per the report, but no actions against the coaches were taken until the Yates report was released. 4 coaches in the end were banned from the NWSL, though Ellis did not see any punishment stemming from the sport. USWT legend and San Diego striker Alex Morgan was quick to address the situation on social media on Wednesday. She wrote on Twitter, or X, quote, "I am disappointed to hear about the allegations made by multiple former Wave FC employees today. As players, we have worked hard to build a team that is surrounded by an inclusive, positive, and safe environment. But it's important to me that we are creating that environment for both players and staff throughout the entire organization. Equity in the workplace is something I have and will continue to advocate for. I want to be proud of what we are building at the Wave, but it is clear that there is so much work to be done," unquote. Now, I want to make it clear where I stand. I support the players and staff who have come forward with these allegations. It's critical to listen to those who have experienced these environments firsthand, especially when their well-being is at stake. Alvarado's own statement on Twitter highlights a culture of discrimination against women and a blatant disregard for mental health. These are not issues to be taken lightly at all. The Wave's response was quick, denying the allegations and labeling the statements as defamatory. They mentioned they were reviewing the situation and might pursue legal action. But let's be real here and very honest. Organizations often go into defense mode when such allegations surface. It's vital to scrutinize these claims thoroughly rather than dismiss them outright. It's easy to forget that behind every team and every game are individuals whose lives are deeply impacted by their work environment. When allegations like these come to light, it's not just about defending reputations or issuing denials. It's about addressing the root of the problem, fostering a culture of respect, and ensuring that every member of the organization feels safe and valued. In supporting the players and staff who have come forward, we're standing up for better working conditions and mental health awareness. The sports world needs to recognize that success isn't just measured by trophies and titles, but by how we treat the people who make those successes possible. Here's how I think the Wave should possibly continue with this. First and foremost, San Diego Wave SC should conduct an independent and transparent investigation into these allegations, and I'm emphasizing transparent. Bringing in an outside firm to thoroughly review the claims will help ensure an unbiased examination of the workplace environment. It's crucial for the club to show that they are taking the accusations seriously and are committed to uncovering the truth. While the investigation is ongoing, it would be prudent for Ellis to step aside temporarily. I know that is definitely going to cause issues as like a club, but it's if you're hurting people's mental health, that's not okay, if that makes sense. This isn't an admission of guilt, but rather a step to ensure that the process is fair and that employees feel safe to speak openly. The club's priority should be to protect and support their staff during this time, especially. San Diego AFC should also establish a robust support system for their employees, both current and former. This includes providing access to mental health resources and creating safe channels for reporting grievances. By actively supporting their staff, the club can begin to rebuild trust and demonstrate that they genuinely care about their employees' well-being. In the long term, the Wave needs to foster a culture of transparency and accountability. Regular training on workplace behavior, mental health awareness, and anti-discrimination policies should be mandatory. Establishing a clear zero-tolerance policy for abusive behavior is essential as well. Employees should feel confident that any reports of misconduct will be handled swiftly and fairly. Additionally, the club should engage in an open dialogue with players, staff, and fans about these changes. Communication is very key in building a supportive and inclusive community. Regular updates on the steps being taken to address these issues can help reassure everyone involved that the club is committed to positive change. I know if I worked there, I would not feel very confident working there at the moment if I didn't have any communication at all in this. It's also crucial that for the Wave to review and potentially revise their leadership structure. Having diverse and empathetic leaders who prioritize the welfare of their employees can make a significant difference. The club should seek leaders who inspire trust and foster a positive work environment, of course. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you guys by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again, and have a wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work.